I'm like, what in the world is going on? Can you just take a damn picture, smile, look cute? Why do you have to? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Silindile Malinga, aka Slee. If you are new, welcome. You are welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing something a little sensitive, but it needs to be shared. So really based on observation, raised concern and hope for change, to be quite honest. So every year I try to read the Book of Proverbs probably once, twice, 3 times, just to see, just to put myself in my place. I think the Book of Proverbs is filled with life lessons, things to do, things not to do. We all know the Book of Proverbs was written by King Solomon, who was the wisest man and the richest man at the time. Solomon spoke from experience based on things that he had done, things that obviously were good for him and things that were not so good for him. And I came across this one particular proverb that I was reading in the past week, and I was like, what? And now it also rang a bell just in terms of my observations and what has been going on in our society, especially with our young women, okay? Even myself, as an example, people in my age group. So I'm speaking out of concern, but most of all, love, because with correction out of love comes growth. But obviously correction out of spite, check your heart. Okay, check your heart. So before I dive into the proverb that I read, I'm going to speak about Solomon just for a little bit. And then I'm going to speak about things that transpired in his life as he became more powerful, more wiser, more richer. So when you read the Book of Proverbs, don't read it from a place of he doesn't know what he's talking about. Solomon knew what he was talking about. He was talking from a place of experience. So who is Solomon? Solomon was the son of David. David was the son of Jesse. Jesse was the son of Obed. Obed was the son of Boaz. So obviously he's part of the lineage of Jesus Christ. So back in Second Kings, we hear of, not Second Kings, First Kings, Second Kings, we hear of King Solomon. King Solomon was the wisest man. One of the first things he asked God was, please give me wisdom. This came through him in a dream. I'm not going to go through much. So God definitely gave him wisdom. Then after that, dude started getting wiser. He built the temple of God, which God had told David that you're not going to build it, but your son will build a temple for me. Awesome. And he did it and he made it look beautiful. And then after that, obviously, Solomon started getting married. As he was becoming more powerful, he started inviting more wives into his life. So he got married to a lot of people, a lot of wives. Apparently it's like 5,000. So this is inclusive of concubines, which are like prostitutes, and like normal, I guess working women, whatever. So because of that, Solomon started inviting idols. Idols because these women were not actually Israel, they were not the children of God, and he started inviting women who came in with their idols. He didn't put a cap, he allowed everything to come in. At first it came in very slowly, then it started coming more, and obviously the women were becoming more braver depending on where you were in the hierarchy. It was just all that. God obviously was like, dude, you're becoming too brand new. And then he stopped speaking to Solomon. And from then, things started going haywire. God was like, nope, I'm not speaking to Solomon anymore, but I'm going to speak through a prophet. I think it was Nathan as well. So he speaks to a prophet and tells him that, dude, this guy is clearly defiling me. He is being rude, and enough is enough. And because of what Solomon did, then God said, I am going to take away the tribes away from him. And he's going to give it to somebody who is not even part of the lineage. Not all of the tribes, but most of them. I think it was like 10. And he left Solomon's lineage, or David's lineage, to Solomon and his family, obviously, to one. and he gave it to strangers, who then were part of the tribe of Israel, the tribe of Judah. You can read all about that. And having said that, during the second book of Kings, there's a lot of tribes. I mean, there's a lot of kings back and forth who reign, who fall, who reign, who fall, who reign, who fall. And then we meet a king called King Ahab, who apparently, according to all the other kings, did the worst of evils, because he had a woman that he got married to named Jezebel. Jezebel came in with her gods, idols, Baal system, just everything that goes against, obviously, God's kingdom and purpose for the children of Israel. Now, we always hear about Jezebel. Oh, somebody's got a Jezebel spirit, blah 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 blah, which is true. So Jezebel, if you read the book of Second Kings, you see how Jezebel is. She's very controlling. She's very overbearing. She's very overpowering. And when you look at Ahab, it's almost like he's like a son, like a baby. He needs Jezebel to approve. He needs, every time something bad happens, he runs to Jezebel and tells them, "Oh, you don't want to give me the land. I'm so mad." And then Jezebel will be like, "You gonna get that land tomorrow." Okay, so she has that nature of, I say what goes, and she seduces or kind of mothers Ahab, comforts Ahab, which is very, very strange, because Ahab is the head, he's the husband, and she's the wife. But because she's very controlling and saying, "Ooh," okay. But prior to that, she already had done a lot of mess. This was the time of Prophet Elijah. She had killed the prophets of Israel. She was just evil, okay. And then obviously we know she eventually dies and whatever. Okay, so now, based on what I have been observing, just alongside many other people that I know, we've spoken about this. So I'm sharing this because this platform is about faith. It's also about integrating faith and lifestyle. I'm not perfect. I've been burned. I have done things in my life that have not been good. I remember back in 2010 when I fetched my testimony, I got burned and it took me 5 years to recover. Okay, so when I see young people get to do things that they're not supposed to be doing at that age, it kind of causes a concern, because it's very hard to recover after you have been burned. Yes, we're all going to get hurt in life. It's part of life. The Christian walk is both a blessing and a battle. But we're not going to go in looking for testimonies and looking for trouble where trouble is not supposed to be touched. So I was reading the book of Proverbs this week. As I was like, wait a minute, this is actually very concerning, because yeah. So again, I'm speaking out of love. Now I've told you a little bit of who Solomon is and what he did and what that led to. So there's more to the impact or the effects of what Solomon did. And as you read the book of Second Kings, Chronicles, you just see all the aftermath of one person's bad decision, which affects everybody. So now let's go to what I wanted to share around speaking to all the women, the young ladies, out of love. So I was reading the book of Proverbs, because Proverbs is written by Solomon, guys, and up until Proverbs 31, which is, I think it's a mother talking to her son. But from chapter 1 to chapter 30, Solomon speaking out of experience, out of knowing what he has gone through. So he's not speaking as if he's brand new, as if he's just, telling us where to get off. He is speaking because he has been burned and has been risen and has been fallen. So if you look at Proverbs 11, so I'm going to go back and forth, but hear me out. Proverbs 11 says, verse 22, "A beautiful woman who rejects good sense is like a gold ring in a pig's snout." I was like, wow. But before I go back to the other Proverbs, the reason why I said wow is because, I don't know, guys, I'm not sure if it's just me, but I feel like our society has heightened the the image of sexuality to the open, even in the most basic things, even in our kids. I don't have kids, but in young people that I know, whether it's family members or people's children and so forth, there's this heightened of sexualization in pictures and how people are dressed. And to be quite honest, it's very disturbing, because I can't even. Sometimes, for me personally, my personality is it's a way that I feel. I will actually feel bad for a person, That's just who I am. I'm an empath by nature, so I feel bad. But when that person doesn't obviously see the wrong or the things that they're doing, it kind of, they're living their best life, right? So I'm all for body positivity and loving yourself. I love myself. I love looking good. I love taking care of myself. But I'm just a little concerned. There's this media hype on hypersexualizing just the mundane of life, even pictures, even the way we wear, the clothes that are available to be bought in the shops. Okay? And I'm seeing it in a lot of kids, especially young girls, and also women, older women, who are hypersexualizing the most basics of images. If you look at Instagram and if you follow people who are either celebrities or people that you may know, that you have grown with, even your own family members, I know I'm not speaking out of context, you will see how heightened, even like person taking pictures will be like, and then it'll be, I'm like, what in the world is going on? Can you just take a damn picture, smile, look cute? Why you have to? So, dude here says, a beautiful woman that lacks good sense is like a pig. It's like a ring in a pig's snout. Ew. Nothing good comes from there. Okay, so that's Solomon. Let's go back to Proverbs 7. So it says here, verse 7. I saw among the inexperienced, I noticed among the youth, a young man lacking sense. Okay, crossing the street near her corner, he strolled down the road at her house at twilight in the evening. In the dark of the night, a woman came to him, dressed like a prostitute. People are dressing like prostitutes. You can't even tell the difference between who's a prostitute and who's just, going about their business, going to the store. Dressed like a prostitute, having a hidden agenda. Fast track to 21. She seduces him with her persistent pleading. She lures with her flattering talk. 27. Her house is the road to Shallow, descending to the chambers of death. Whew, it was very hard to read this. So let's go back to this is not the one. So there's so much wisdom in the Book of Proverbs, because the Book of Proverbs also talks about things that, to be quite honest with you, you can't even ignore. You yourself have witnessed it, like, oh my gosh, this is so true. That's the thing about the Bible. Everything that's happening in the world is nothing new under the sun. Sodom and Gomorrah, we see in Genesis. Those with ears and those with eyes, I need you all to open them in this season. Like, you really need to open your eyes, because kids are going to be the receivers of how we choose to live life. And yes, we are part of a culture. God says we need to go out to the world and be light. He didn't say we need to be like the world. So there's a difference. But some people are just taking to the extreme. Okay? So, yeah. So I just want to make sure. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share today. Basically, is just love yourself. I'm all for body positivity. But there comes a time where I don't know what the intent behind. That's why you always need to check your heart before you post something, before you say something. Like I mentioned to you, I've grown up I've done stuff in my life that I've not been proud of, obviously because I didn't know better. I honestly feel as an aunt, as a older model to other people, I honestly think that it's so important to check how your child is dressed before they leave the house. The way media is affecting children these days is horrendous. It's scary. And there's power in the secret things, in the secret hidden things of a woman. And that's why even the Bible says that the man who finds a good wife finds a good thing. And we're not all trying to be a Proverbs 31 woman, but a Proverbs 31 woman is actually a mother talking to a son on what type of woman to look out for. Because there are a lot of Jezebel spirits roaming around our society, luring young men and older men and the like. And women, if we only knew how powerful we are in how God made us, you will be found if that's what you desire and what God has willed for your life. But seducing someone with your flattery and your skin and your alertness and your chest and your legs and your back, not leaving anything to the imagination. I don't know. I'm just saying. And the other day I also was just like, I wasn't laughing, but I was like, oh wow, this book is like so accurate. Like I was even thinking to myself, where is this verse now? I was reading chapter 6, verse 25. And I was like, this is so true. Like it says, don't lust in your heart for her beauty, or let her captivate you with her eyelashes. How many times have we seen eyelashes being so amplified in the season? Nothing wrong with eyelashes. I've done eyelashes. But guys, let's be honest. There are some eyelashes that look like wings. You can't even talk to someone because they're like up and down, up and down. Really? Look at what the Solomon says here. Don't lust in your heart for her beauty, or let her captivate you with her eyelashes. Anyway, I just thought it was like, oh wow, 2022, them eyelashes are everything, okay? Nothing wrong with eyelashes. Just make sure you are able to see and they actually blend in with your makeup, right? So read the Book of Proverbs, and it's a bit of a tough book to read. And one thing I've also told myself is, in this season, I don't want to speak much. I really want to also examine myself. I'm not here to change person. Only God can change a person who is willing to be changed. You cannot change someone. Okay, you are not God. He came to save, and he's the only one that is able to change us. So women, when you think you're going to change someone, men, when you think you're going to change your woman, good luck. I wish you all the best. Somebody needs to be willing to change before it can actually happen. So my channel, my purpose going forward as I get older is to talk truth and to speak my experiences, and obviously using the biblical principles and understanding the Bible. Because another thing is, we've misinterpreted the Bible for so long. And having the right commentaries, the study Bibles, and all the materials to help empower you, and stop doing things outside of this book to guide you. In the book of Colossians, Paul says, in the last days, people will be lovers of themselves. People will have itchy ears. They want to hear only things that make them feel good. So they'll go seek people that will tell them things that will make them feel good. Even when they go to church, they want a feel-good message. They don't want a message that convicts them, that changes their hearts, that makes them question maybe what they need to do. Not condemns them, but inspires them to change. That's where we are right now. We are in the last days where people want to hear what they don't want the will of God. They want God to align with their will. Good luck, because he ain't doing that. Okay. So don't be a beautiful woman that lacks good sense. Solomon had all the beautiful women in the world, and yet he ended up, if you read the book of 2 Kings, obviously he dies, and the people that normally suffer the sins of parents and great-great-parents are always the children. The things that happened post Solomon's reign are actually sad. Like every time I read when I was reading the book of 2 Kings, like, what? Now it was the even when people would get rid of certain idols or whatever things that they post as God, they would get rid of certain things, but not everything. So they really didn't have the fear of God. That's another thing about the spirit of the enemy. It's very prideful. It's very brave. It's very pushy. It's very boastful. So if you are around people who have that nature, who push, who are very look at me, I'm still sure. I need you to pray and exercise some discernment, because God even says in the book of Daniel that we do not engage with that type of spirit. It will only end bad for you. And I remember when I was also trying to just understand my life and the context of what I was doing, especially as a young adult, I ran away from this book because I thought, nah, I got this. No ways. No ways. I got this. No, you don't got this. You do not got this. Okay, as Americans, you do not got this, because you can only outwit yourself based on your limited view. God sees everything, and because you are made out of dust, you will get tired. Okay, you will get tired and weary, and that's when you will start like, there's gotta be more to life than what I'm living for. What is going on? Oh my goodness. Because obviously you would have outdone yourself. Okay, you will end up getting tired, right? And that's another thing about human nature. We think we're so smart. We're not. And we, like, even today, like I mentioned, I'm not judging or anything. I'm speaking based on observation. And even people that are in my life, people that are not either doing or working closely with God, I don't judge them. I love them. Friends, family, whoever, I dearly do love them. But I think we are living in a world now, we're so delusioned. Like, you know, I remember, but I'm grateful to God for maybe protecting me in some of the areas that I didn't seek guidance for. That the way things are so heightened now, people are seeking guidance from other things outside of God, outside of the principles of God, because people want answers. And I think I mentioned this in my previous video. You don't know. You'll never know. Some things you're just not going to know. So some things just belong to God. The secret things belong to God. And it's fine. I don't want to know. Okay? If God wills me to know, then I will know. Don't be like Adam and Eve, who wanted to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Why would you want to know? Why would you want to be God? You are not God. There's certain things you are just not gonna know, and it's okay. You are human. Know your place. And like I mentioned in my other video as well, it's just crazy how people think other means will bring them peace. But like I mentioned, you get tired. So ladies, men, do not be lured to life that you won't be able to sustain, because we get old, okay? And you are only as old as the time that God calls you to glory. We have young people dying. Just because you're young does not mean you're not old, okay? You can exit this world anytime. That means, oh, you're gone. So live a life that is kind, that is loving, that is not going to cause somebody else to stumble. Because the worst thing we can ever do to each other is cause each other to stumble. Don't be the reason somebody needs Jesus to save them from themselves. Yes, we all need Jesus just in life in general. But don't try and play with life shallow and grave because you think you're clever, because you're not. So I hope this video helps you. And I really hope you take time to study the life of Solomon as well. And then go into the book of Proverbs to read more about his advice around lady wisdom and foolishness. Because the book of Proverbs is about being fool and being wise. I'd rather choose wise wisdom. Thank you. Cool. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if this spoke to you. But we need to open our eyes. We cannot, like, guys, like literally going to the shop. I'm like, like, I don't want to do that. But I'm going to Okay, I'm not going to say anything more. Bye.